Hi Libra, welcome to your March 2019 relationship reading. It's Rena here, and I have done a reading like this in the past. I didn't call it this, but this month I have also done a reading for singles, so if maybe you wandered on here by accident and you're single, just check out my channel. I've already posted that one. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Page of Cups. This could literally be a Pisces individual, but this could certainly be a facet of you that you are feeling. The word that comes to my mind is gobsmacked, which is not an American expression. I used to think it was Godsmacked, but I don't know. Maybe that was an Oasis album name or something. I don't know. But anyway, and I don't even know if I have the correct definition of that. But in any way, like a sense of confusion. Like, how did I get here? And basically with the Page of Cups, this is a very innocent energy, but it can be feeling gullible, like you believed someone, trusted somebody, and things have not panned out the way that you had hoped. Now, I want to say that this reading is intended for people that are connected to another person, like in a relationship or in a past relationship that may have recently ended, but you still, carry a torch for that person, whether or not they're interested in getting back together with you, you might be interested in getting back together with them, or vice versa, that they're wanting to get back together with you, but you're not sure. This is not meant for people that are in happy relationships, but people who are in more challenging, troubled relationships. So it might just be like all of a sudden you woke up one day and said, what happened here? And we look here at the past position, and this is a very positive card, the Nine of Cups, and it can also describe, I would say definitely that this is a Piscean energy connected to Jupiter, and Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces, and this is water energy. So that's just what I personally think of all the water signs. And this may have felt like you were very happy with this relationship at one point, and it felt like you had hit the jackpot with this person, and now you're just kind of left dazed and confused, perhaps, and not really sure what happened. With the higher message, we have the Eight of Wands, and so to me, this would indicate that things happen too quickly. And so maybe you were with somebody who was telling you everything that you wanted to hear and was like making all these plans and things like that. But I want to tell you something, that if that rings a bell to you or for you, I just want to say that to me, that is a red flag in a situation, that people who want to rush a relationship and they want to move in after 3 weeks and they want to do all this stuff, that there's something probably not quite right with that person and their thinking and their life, because that is not prudent behavior. First of all, what's the rush anyway? It's almost like when a salesperson tries to like push you into a sale, and then they, it's like kind of a flim-flam man, that they're like, they want to get you involved because they don't want you to see their flaws. So they're trying to get you involved before they can, show you who they really are. So, and not necessarily that's true 100% of the time, but somebody who's very impulsive and just impatient in life, they're going to tend to have a lot of issues surrounding that. So in the future, if you ever notice this again, just realize that that's probably a sign that the person isn't quite in balance with their own self. What crosses you is the Knight of Cups, which can be like a person who is very chivalrous and an artist and something like that. In the challenge position, this can be a person who is emotionally immature. And this can manifest in different ways. If this person is a water sign, and let's say, I'm not trying to pick on a man, but let's say it is a man, and you happen to be a woman, because that's I'm thinking of the dynamics between men and women. I can't just apply it to same-sex relationships with the same certainty. I'm just talking about my own observations. I think that with a man that is immature, this person may have a hard time with their own challenging emotions. So they may take it out on you in some way, and maybe even like if they feel like strongly for you, that could be the very time that they start to act mean. They can almost like trying to dare you to reject them because they're afraid of getting close to you. It kind of reminds me of the little boy who pulls the girl's pigtails because he likes her. And he can't handle the fact that he has these strong emotions because it makes him feel vulnerable. And so rather than feel vulnerable, he turns aggressive. Sometimes this could be someone who is like in love with love to me, and it's not the same as like the Knight of Wands, like a player. This is a romantic person, but they're kind of feeding off of that drama or fantasy of relationships instead of actually sticking around long enough to be in one. So they may have different relationships. They may promise things that they can't deliver. And that's another thing that I think about that Eight of Wands, is that, it's just kind of like love bombing you. And especially if you got physical in the relationship early on, you may be kind of scratching your head and feeling like, oh, did this person just use me? And maybe they were sincere, but they just can't sustain their romantic feelings because they're too into that phase of pattern of like getting off on the rush of a new relationship. So once a relationship develops, they might lose interest. I could see a Knight of Cups in the challenge position being fickle and not being very stable in that sense, and maybe even having a drinking problem in the challenge position. What is coming in is represented by the Six of Swords. This is a card that has you tempted to like leave, and you may actually do so. And I'm not saying that you're necessarily living with this person right now. Perhaps it's a relationship, but it's kind of on and off again, or you're just living in separate places, but you may just choose to even relocate, especially if there are other factors that support it, like a job offer or something like that. But definitely just kind of moving away from the drama that might be part of what is going on right now. It may be a real turnoff to you to have to deal with somebody's immaturity emotional immaturity. Remember that you are an air sign. So even though you are romantic, Libra, you are very intellectual about your feelings. So you are capable of analyzing them and creating a distance between them. And it's a lot easier than some people realize for you to kind of bail from relationships. A lot of people assume that you're the type that's just going to cling to somebody's pant legs and say, don't leave. And that's not really true. Libras can be codependent, but they also can leave relationships. And I think that some of you have probably surprised other people with that behavior because they didn't expect it. The outcome is the Moon card. The interesting thing is that Cancer is the is ruled by the Moon. However, in the Tarot, the Moon card is connected to Pisces. So here we have another Pisces influence. Now, with the Moon card and the month of March, I just want to let you know that you have a full moon in your sign in March. So this could be just kind of making you aware of how you are closing, achieving closure. And this is going to happen in March and April for you, where you have a full moon in March at 0 degrees of Libra, and then in April at 29 degrees of Libra. So this is certainly unusual, and the first and last degree, it really seems symbolic at the very least, but definitely almost part of your soul's evolution to really see the nature of certain events up until this point and how you can begin anew, but also how you can really let go completely of something in order to move on. And the Moon card is also a card of illumination. So when there's a full moon, that means the sun is opposing it. And in this case, the sun is in the 7th house during these two full moons in March and April. And what is happening is that it's bringing awareness to your needs and in light of the other person. And maybe you have neglected your needs for too long because you were enmeshed in a relationship that was very manipulative, and perhaps you were trying to quote unquote help somebody who was having problems. Maybe this person you could tell was having emotional problems, and this could be because of some substance abuse issue like drinking. And if you are not really treating this person as somebody who is capable of getting better, you may feel sorry for them, but you're not acknowledging that they have control over their life and over their choices. And that's the problem with codependency, is that the person who is being codependent erroneously believes that the other person is incapable of taking care of themselves. And so that's why they have to step in and kind of make it all better. And of course, it is just a farce, because that person, the other party, is aware of what is going on at some level. I believe in most cases. There may be some cases that it doesn't go that way, but I think in most cases, when you are taking responsibility for somebody else, it's due to their manipulating you and getting you to believe that somehow you can save them. you're responsible. In some cases, they will blame you and say that what they're doing is because of you. And depending on your makeup, you may actually fall for that. And so with the Moon card, it's showing you how you lie to yourself, but also how other people lie to you, how you have been deceived by others as well as by yourself. And also it could point to these lies being revealed. You know, full moons are times of secrets coming out sometimes. And since the full moon is in your sign for subsequent months of March and April, this may be more of your own self-deception than what other people are doing to you. But it doesn't matter. It's all good, because if you find this out, Libra, that if it dawns on you that you have been kind of swallowing these lies and doing so because you wanted to believe it more than the truth was pointing in that direction, it's liberating. So I'm not saying that there's anything bad with this whatsoever. Okay, that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope that you got something from this. If you would like a more specific reading tailored to your particular love situation, my love readings are primarily natal chart based. And so they speak to your particular natal chart and look at the other person's information, if available, as well. And the link is below for my web store. Wishing you the best in March. Take care. Bye.